moving to another Lowlands player, Belgian youngster Malick Fofana. Quite young, Bart's 19, left winger. Players always get excited by a left winger, don't they? Especially Belgian youngster. Big thing that's come out recently as well is probably most people have clocked. This kid's agent has said Liverpool is his dream. He's got like Sadio Mane, and Liverpool is his club. The other side is French Ligue 1. Lyon is skin. We know Lyon's financial problems, so that can lean into it. But we always say this, the final bit I'll add for I'll let you run your stats. If you're going to get in Liverpool's attack, you've got to be really good. And you've got to have at least really good potential if you're a youngster, because Diaz and Gakpo are there currently. Look, let's be honest, people. Chiesa can't even get a game. So that sets the standard really at the moment. So we've got to put it in those parameters. But let's see what you've got for this kid and his potential, Barts.
So, playing time. He's clocking in at 24 starts for them this season, and he's done 1,200 minutes. So, that's a sizable increase from last season at 500. All right, so that's pretty good. He's done just under 1490 as well out of that 24 starts. So just over half the games he's staying on for the full length of time, which is a good progression from last season where he was just over the half he was getting taken off. So there you go. In terms of another thing that people may or may not know is everybody tells you how much the player adds to a team in terms of XG. So he actually adds 0.66 this season. So he's adding to Lyon's XG ability when he's on the pitch.
Yeah. He's
not a negative influence. All right. Not as much as last season, it was 0.84, but again, so few data points. He could have come on and scored a hat trick and then that would have inflated the numbers. But that amount of minutes to add 0.66 for a kid, okay, we'll take that. Aerials, not really his wheelhouse, 18%, but, okay. I think if you probably compared it with ours, it wouldn't be that much better, to be honest with you. If we look a little bit further up where we were going, there isn't a lot of data. So, assists, he's going up, he's got 4. If we do that per 90, so he's coming up at 0.3 per 90, which is an improvement over the years. Expected assists, okay, which is like the threat, if you like. He's at 0.22 versus 0.08, so again, an improvement on previous years, which is good.
Yeah.
Progressive passes making. He's rather than 1.6, he's now at nearly 3 a game, so that's good. If we look at his passing completion, attempted is 34 passes per game. He's completed 26 of those. So his pass completion percentage has gone down a bit, but the volume has gone up what he's attempted. And I would suggest his biggest change has been his short game. He's shortened this game a bit from 12 a game to nearly 17 a game. So he's changed it from being a bit more, So that's where he added the numbers. In terms of overall XG and assists combined, again, going up. 0.38 last season, 0.46. Remember, we asked ours are about 0.6, 0.65. So he's a bit below that, but he's a kid. But if you're going to say, is he going to get in that 6? That's something to think about, considering Chiesa's will be immense at the moment, but he ain't playing a lot of minutes. The guy's an Italy international. Every time he comes on, seems to score and shoot a lot, and he can't get on the pitch. So something to take on board. Running the usual. Okay, defensively, aerials, we've already said, not a strong point. Clearances, clearly does something defensively for the side, has a role on set plays in corners perhaps. But tackles and interceptions, okay, for a forward. That's okay. So he's doing the high press, or he's engaging the defender and winning the ball. That's okay. Blocking it could do being a bit higher. So that's just he's more proactive in his defending rather than waiting and blocking the pass today. Progressive passes received 81, so he is high up the pitch. He's receiving the ball. He's the outlet, giving the ball. Let's see what he does. And then he progresses that ball into the box. He's 84% off the touches in the penalty box. That's good. Progressing carries. Again, gets it, carries it, or can take it from deep and goes. 96 percentile. That's really good. Okay. Passing, though, he's still better than Timber. But he's 33 percentile for passes attempted. But his passing accuracy is 76. But he's a forward. So that's in and around the right wheelhouse. But we would expect a little bit higher volume from him. Non-penalty goals and non-penalty XG, sorry, he's 83rd percentile, 97, so that's good per 90. Shot creating actions is low though for a winger, he's only 23rd percentile. So, but he's only taking 1.98 shots, which, yeah, that's a little bit low. But I want to look at where he's playing. He might play really wide, so he's not in the areas. We used to Mo doing stupid amounts of shots a game or above that. So Nunez is around that. Yeah, he does about that game as well. The minutes he comes on, so it gives you a reflection. If you are comparing him with some of our forwards, so let's see what these are here. He would play left, right? Have I got that right?
Yeah. Left wing, right foot, like Luis Diaz, essentially.
Yeah, which I haven't really got it. But if you look at, so Nunez has played out there a little bit. Not too dissimilar to profile, to be honest with you.
No.
Apart from Fofana has got a higher amount of non-penalty goals. So it's not too far off. If you look at some of all the highlights, we looked at Alvarez is obviously going to dominate over where he was. Elliot is a different kind of player. So, yeah, there is definitely some things to look up for. What does he look like on the dashboard? He's playing this left area. He's well connected. Okay. You might want to see your 8 given in the ball as well, but we would typically have our fullback give the wide player ball, and equally he's linked in with the other forwards. If we look at him up to the first subs, very, very similar. So there are some things to like. How's he receiving the ball? He receives the ball properly every other minute. So he's involved. They clearly like to break because he's involved in low passing chains. He's not involved in the recycle. He's involved in the progressive pass out to him. Go and attack the player, go and attack the ball. And therefore he's not creating a lot of progressive passes. So that's fine. Okay. Look at threat. Does he do anything defensively? And the answer is yes, he stops the threat coming his way. What does he do in terms of himself? So that is 9 and 12, 16% of the threat is in his area creation. So there's some things I like about that, to be honest with you. Off the ball, lower than the right side, it would be fair to say.
Yeah.
That's just short of touch, so 10%, whereas right side is giving you 15, just like 20%. So a little bit of an imbalance, probably backed up by his left back. So, some things to think about there. In terms of XG, didn't do anything in this game, and therefore didn't have a shot. If you look at his individual playing time, so he had 30% of the team's touches, which is okay. 1 penalty box touch, not great. Pass success at 72, in line with what his FB was saying. 66% of his duels though, which is pretty good for a forward. To be fair. Only 2.4% of the team's EPB. Given, I know Mo's supernova, but typically we would expect our forwards to be in around double figures, right? So, some things to like, but some also things to think. He's a kid. Can he do much more? He's banging out all his metrics, not exceeding any of them. So, an interesting guy. I think if it was going to be a large fee, I would expect a bit more promise in him. But all the metrics are improving. That would be fair to say.
It's going the right way.
They're going the right way, but are they going at the right pace? Is the only thing. Would this be a step too quickly to another level? Or that's probably the questions that people would. If it was my money, I'd be asking.
And again, Let's give you the final bits that we've got, and we'll see if it moves the needle at all, because we're not quite there, probably it's fair to say, with Fofana. Is the elements, and I know you brought this to the party as well, there's some good defensive numbers in terms of, like you said, interceptions was 73rd percentile. This kid progresses the ball unbelievably, 96th percentile, 6 a game. So he is literally carrying it a lot. He's a runner. There's no two ways about it. And his progressive passes received, as you said, was in double figures, over 10 a game, 81st percentile, we said. And his non-penalty goals, for comparison to his peers, and I know people will shout FB ref, but that's based against peers and Ligue 1, but that comes into the top levels. 97th percentile for his age. I know it's per 90 as well. People will shout, but you've got to look at these things. But the two key things, and there is green on there, we've got to say that. Does it change your mind if I say that number one is recorded pace, and it's not the normal place we get our stats from, but from the info, rapid 35 plus is number one.
That'd be very, very useful to have, yeah.
And the second thing is, you know, that sexy price point we always like for our wingers around the 40 million mark.
Yeah.
Lyon, we know, have got financial issues. So you could, you know, really drill it down. Does that change it at all?
Definitely. I think it's fair to say that one of the left wingers is leaving.
Yeah.
Right?
We know it is,
that's fair. Right. I think it's then a question of this kid has promise, right? He's got, what was I saying, about 0.45 non-penalty goals next year. So he's on the way up, right? That is improving. It's whether you think Cody can be your first choice left winger, which he largely had moved himself into that position anyway on the slot. And then this kid comes in and develops. If you're happy with that combination for that price point and for the minutes he's played and he's improving those minutes, I could see how that could work out. There is a lot of league attacks, and it is worse than Bully. It's not as bad as Eredivisie, but it's sort of in there. So you have to reduce the numbers a little bit. But yeah, for not quite, chip paper fee, but step up, that could be a deal worth doing. He's rapid, he's tidy on the ball. Sounds like it could be just some clever coaching, should we say, to mold him into something else. If you get it below that price, I mean that's almost makes a lot of sense. But again, it comes back to that question we had with the previous kid. Are you happy with the guy that's going to be left being the first choice? Therefore, the backup makes sense, right? If you're not, then you spend the money to go and get a first choice and you bring the other guy back. Yeah, if you're happy with Cody being starting left winger, then a